there nothing to be afraid of? Is there nothing to be afraid of? Is there nothing to be afraid of?
Let's do this!
Hi everyone, my name is Leo Bella. I'm a senior product lead.
And I'm Mark Florida, Principal Engineering Product Manager. And if you're an IT admin, that video we just showed probably hit close to home. We're here today to announce this. Update Tuesday will just be another Tuesday.
I suggest keeping it on your calendar and take a day off. It's going to be much easier. This is an automated service engineered by Microsoft experts that keeps Windows and Office continuously up to date. No more Update Tuesday pop-ups.
We know that's a big promise, so here's a look at the topics we're going to cover today, in case you want to skip right to the specific chapter. We'll start by defining the service, what it is, what it does for you, and then we'll show you the readiness assessment, do a deep dive into progressive deployment, and then talk about notifications, and finally, a note on reporting.
So let's get started. So I'm talking to customers over the years. We learned that updating requires time and attention.
Creating a workflow for rolling out updates with the right mix of speed and reliability is challenging. I thought about walking you through this slide, but that would be the only thing more painful than implementing all these steps.
This is why we see about 5 versions of Windows in a typical enterprise.
Deciding whether to introduce new variables into a complex system isn't easy. So every release of every piece of software gets treated as possibly disruptive instead of helpful.
And as the state gets more diverse with devices on-site, off-site, and even on the cloud on Windows 365, Azure Virtual Desktop, and the software keeps improving, adding new features, it can be a lot of work to stay current.
Software updates are meant to be helpful, and some are critical, adding security, usability, and improving the way everything works.
At Microsoft, we want you to be able to focus on your business and what makes you unique. In short, we want to give you time back.
The service brings the learnings and experience of the engineers who live and breathe updates to the maintenance operations of your Windows and Office software. This balances speed and safety, giving your IT team back the bandwidth to tackle more pressing business challenges.
Endpoint Manager isn't a race with a beginning and an end. It's the nature of software to adapt to new demands, changing conditions, and use cases. This service helps you to get and stay current. This service is available everywhere we offer Windows E3. So let's look at how we can take advantage of it. That means we'll want you to do the readiness assessment.
The first question of readiness is, can you administer your devices over the cloud? The answer has to be yes. Customers with Intune can do this directly. If you're using Configuration Manager, you can use Hybrid Azure Active Directory and co-management to take advantage of this capability.
The online tool checks your settings in Microsoft Endpoint Manager, specifically Microsoft Intune, Azure Active Directory, and Microsoft 365 to ensure that they'll work with your service.
In this demo, we're running the tool from within Microsoft Endpoint Manager. From the tenant administration blade, you can initiate the service through the tenant enrollment option.
Well, that's easy. If your readiness assessment stands up to not ready settings, you can click through and get step-by-step instructions on how to resolve the issue, but that's a little bit out of scope for what we are trying to do today. So through the magic of the movies, we'll be going to skip ahead to All System Go. Now it's time to enroll your tenant. For a deeper look into the readiness assessment, check out Microsoft Docs page.
Enrolling your tenant in the service as simple as consenting to Microsoft managing updates on your behalf. I'm going to demo this for you, even though it's literally ticking a box on a screen. After providing consent, Microsoft completes all the other steps for you automatically and will manage creating the right policies and groups so that updates are ready to be deployed. Talk about saving time. Imagine doing all the policy configuration and group definitions yourself.
Oh wow, that's a lot of time. All that's left for you is to provide admin contacts, so we know who to call whenever there is an incident or something that needs your attention.
Then you confirm the devices you want us to manage, and that's it. You can leave the testing and deployment of updates to us.
That's amazing. Let's take a deeper look at testing rings and progressive deployment.
The idea behind ring-based testing is to find possible issues fast and minimize the impact of those issues. To do this, we put endpoints into groups. We start with test groups, which is a small number of devices that are representative of all the types of devices and configurations under management. When that group has been successfully updated, we go to the first ring. With success there, the deployment progresses to the fast ring. And once the update is successfully deployed again, we move on to the broad ring.
This diagram isn't quite right. The rings are scaled way differently. The test rings has a minimum number of representative devices. The first ring contains about 1%. The fast ring has 9%. The remaining 90% of your endpoints will be in the broad ring.
Quality updates, those are those that deal with security and critical device or firmware updates, get deployed across the rings rapidly, getting the benefits as soon as possible.
We have analytics that look at pattern changes in the machine health and performance. For example, we have an ability to see an app crashes are increasing in your environment.
The time delay between deployments allows for users to work with the updated software and catch any issues that may not show up in device logs.
If no issues are reported or detected, then we will promote you to the next ring, and so on, until eventually we hit the broad ring. Our target is to get quality updates into 95% of your devices as quickly and as safely as possible.
Then there are what we call feature updates. The timelines are much longer since they often involve changes to apps, user interfaces, and the like. And we want users in each ring to have a chance to deeply interact with each update before it gets promoted.
We do have flexibility for customers who prefer more aggressive with the ring's expansion, as well as those who want to be a little bit more conservative. And you can always move machines from one ring to another to make sure that the CEO laptop doesn't end up in a test ring.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But that's the cool part about the automation here, is that devices come and go and the service can keep refreshing the ring membership for you over time so that you don't have to do it yourself. Pretty neat, huh?
Very much so. That's the excitement that I was looking for. Now, when updates go out to your estate, your admins are notified in the message center, and that notice usually states that the update has completed successfully.
That's because we manage a lot of updates and get data insights that help us avoid potential issues.
In the event that the update does not complete successfully and there is an issue that requires attention, let's walk through what it might look like.
The beauty of automation is that there is nothing to show. If the unfortunate happens and there is an issue, then we'll halt the deployment and roll back if necessary without you needing to lift a finger. If we find that the issue is not with the update, but rather with an app compatibility issue, we can engage the App Assure team on your behalf and bring in other Microsoft engineers if appropriate.
We would then communicate timeline with you when there is any issue is resolved and the rollout is ready to restart. What is great about this service is that it can parse portions of the update. So if an update contains multiple binary changes, we can disable parts of the deployment without affecting the others.
We mentioned that we often see several different versions of Windows in enterprise estates. Having visibility into and reporting on compliance of updates across your devices is important to many customers with specific auditing requirements.
We provide information on updates delivered to your endpoint and how those updates perform. And you have a real-time visibility into when new updates are available and deployed in the message center.
Now that you've seen what the service can do, I want to summarize what it could mean to you and your enterprise. With this service, IT admins should have more bandwidth to focus on business challenges when the process of updating Windows and Office is automated.
Allowing the service to accelerate your deployment timeline and success rates. You can get improved security posture across enrolled Windows devices. All of that can add to the lower total cost of ownership.
And it can increase competitive retention and your ability to hire the best talent. Your IT admins get to solve business challenges instead of performing routine endpoint maintenance.
Keep an eye on your management console for the service to go live, or reach out to your Microsoft representative. Thanks, everyone.
See you next time.